Hello and welcome to this new video in the SQL section. From this video onwards, over the next couple of videos, we are going to learn a lot about date and time. Date and time are one of the most important aspects in any tool and technology as far as you work on data. And I'm sure you would have come across it if you have worked either in Excel or any other tool. And there are many misconceptions and mistakes that people make, and those are very basic things, but they end up creating a lot of issues. So let us understand this piece by piece. This will be a multi-part series, so just to break it down and not create a longer video. So let's start. The first thing we will see is how to get current date time. So the function that we are going to start with is a function called as GETDATE. Open the bracket. Now this function doesn't need any input. The input is predefined. However, it returns you date time. Now what is date time? As we have seen, there are various data types until now, like integer, which is int, varchar, bit, and char, and many more things. And we'll see great detail about each one of them in further videos. So just like that, date time is one another data type that we need to know. And there is a specific category for dates, which has data types. So we have date time, we have date time 2, we have date time, small date time. We'll see all of these. So currently we start with this and execute this. This will give me my current date time. So I am in IST time zone right now. So this is 3rd of November to 2023 and this is the date. Fine. And this is not the only one way which you can get the current date. There is something called as SYSDATETIME also. Open the bracket. This also doesn't need any input. However, the difference is that it returns another data type called as date time 2. And there is something called as 7 inside it. We will see what is the meaning of that. So let us run this. And now I can see the difference between both. Both return me the current date time. However, you can see the difference is in the number of the last component. So this is hour, minute, second, millisecond. So this is 990 and this is 9908442. Now think about this, which could be more accurate. Obviously, it is the second one, which is the SYSDATETIME. So the second one is more accurate. So we have right now two functions. Both return us the current date time, but SYSDATETIME is more accurate. And that's why it says it returns the date time 2 data type. 7 means these 7 digits. So it means precision, means 7 digits of accuracy. So obviously to conclude, SYSDATETIME 2 returns a date time 2, SYSDATETIME function returns a date time 2 data type, which is more accurate than date time returned by GETDATE. So when you're very concerned about that every one single millisecond, then you can go with SYSDATETIME. However, I see GETDATE is being used more often. Okay, that is the only fundamental difference. Fine. So we have two data types, and there is one more function called as SYSUTC_DATETIME. This also returns you date time 2. Let us run all of them together. So we'll have 3 result panes. So this difference we have already seen. Now we need to see the difference. This also has 7 digits of accuracy because it is returning date time 2. Remember, date time 2, these are nothing but data types. Okay. Look at the difference over here in the time. So SYSUTC, there is a time zone called as UTC, which is Universal Coordinated Time Zone. And it is, as of now, currently 5.5 hours behind the IST time zone. That is the only difference. So you can go on Google and search what is UTC and what is UTC now. It will show you the current time as per UTC time zone. So these are fundamental things that you should know to get started. And the data types which we saw was date time and date time 2. Date time is called as lower precision data type. Date time 2 is called as higher precision data type, which means higher accuracy. Simple. Next thing, let us understand how can we create dates or enter dates. One of the ways which you could see people do is by using single quotes. So you can enclose in single quotes just like you do for text or string. So the format that should be followed is year, month, and then day, whatever date you want to enter. All right. However, with this, there are some problems or accidents that can happen. When the month and the day part is less than equal to 12, the confusion starts. So I can read this date as either April the 11th or 4th of November. And which one is right? So the best thing is to follow is year, month and day format. However, I still would say don't use this. SQL has given us few functions to create dates. You should strictly use them and not worry about formats any longer. So there is something called as date from parts. So what it does, it returns me a date time, and now we are used to this. We know what is date time. So it is just another data type for date and time. Now this needs three inputs: year, month, and day, and all should be integer. So I'll say 2023 month and day and run it. And here my headache goes away of formatting. Am I entering in the right format or not? So that fear will never be there. You just follow the sequence what it is asking you, year, month, day, and it will automatically format and return you a valid date or date time. Okay. And you have another function called as date time. Okay. This also returns you date time, but the only difference is this is date and this is date plus time parts. So for example, 2023 November 4th, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning, 15 minutes, 45 seconds, and then milliseconds, and run. So there you go. That is the only difference. If I run both of them together, I'll be able to see the difference. That's it. Okay. So this is returning your date and this is returning you date time. So going ahead, whenever you want to enter a date, strictly use this. And I explained you already why that can be a problem, specifically when one condition could be when both date and day and month are less than equal to 12. That's the problem. And even if it's greater than 12, you will end up creating invalid dates which will not be recognized. Best is to avoid that mistake. All right. I know in spite of telling this, people will still write it in hard code. As long as you're writing it in correct format, that's fine. But why take chances? That's my only ultimate goal to explain. So that's it. We'll stop over here. But just to reiterate and summarize, we saw functions, but most importantly, we saw the data types, which is date time and date time 2. What is the difference in terms of precision? Keep that in mind. That is also a question that can come across to you when we talk specifically on date, and different functions. This is not yet done. This is just the start. So I will just break this as a multi-part series, as I said, and we'll continue further in the next video.